Alright friends, it is Audrey and welcome back to my studio. I am here today with Coco Daisy using the Halloween kit in order to make a out of the page protector 6x8 layout for my fall album, which is I'm calling October Occasionally. So just a heads up, everything here is from the 2021 Halloween kit, except for this If You've Got It Haunted. That is from last year's 2020 Halloween kit. It went perfectly for me, so I had to use it because that's what this story is about. So without further ado, let's jump in and get started on this layout. Thank you. Alright, so let's get started here. Don't really have a big plan. Alright, so right now I'm just cutting down the paper, the black paper for my stash into 7 by 8.25, which is the size outside the size of the page protectors for my fall October Occasionally album, which is kind of like an October daily album, but it's not all, at least for me, it's not all focused on Halloween. So, and I'm cutting some strips down, so this is 1 inch and the other ones are 1/2 inch. Okay. So this I am going to, since this is going to be a double page spread, and this is just a little bit bigger, so this one is the right size. Well, we're just gonna go with it. You can hear Dennis barking out there. Alright, so I am going to just use some washi from my stash. Just to tape this down so it becomes one full piece for me to work on. I'll trim it later. Okay. I'm using this kind of like bird paper. So this is why I cut the paper, because what I want to do is put I want to make some lines here, so this way it kind of flows and I can stretch the paper. Alright, well I know I definitely want, I'm enjoying the creative process where I don't really have a sketch, I'm just kind of winging it and trying to figure out as I go along with the products that I've got. So I know that I definitely want this piece of paper here, and I want this one right here. So I really like the background of this. Okay, so now we're going to stretch out by a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to start with, this should be the one that lines up. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to start with the 1 inch piece. Alright, so, yeah, you can see this okay. So this is, I am using the 1/2 inch piece to measure. You can use a ruler, but this is just an easy way for me to do it. And then, so I like to have a little bit of a bigger piece, and then I go to the smaller pieces. So this should be the second one. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so that is a great way to stretch your paper. Always when I trim it. Alright. Alright, so here's my little story. Let me get this down here. Alright, I'm cutting a little bit off of my photo. Probably a little more than that, actually. I'm cutting a 1/2 inch off of the bottom, just the black part of the photo. I don't want to take too much away from the hardware on my jacket, but I'm cutting a little bit off of the photo because I want it to, yeah, to frame better. Alright, let me get the photo down. Alright, I just had to change my adhesive because it ran out. In case you're wondering, I'm using Tombow adhesive. I usually use Scotch 3M, but for some reason Amazon is not getting the refills correct, so I switched to Tombow. And I really do actually kind of like this. I always tend to put down more adhesive than you really need, but that's just me. Alright, so now I'm just going to eyeball this. It's going to do 1 inch, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, woohoo. Now I'm going to go cut it in half so I can see exactly where the holes are going to be. Because remember, this is going into my, this is just outside the page protector 6x8 layout. So cutting it in half. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And just going to use a pen to mark where the holes are going to be. Okay. Alright, now it's time to embellish this. So I've got, where is it here now? Where did I put it? Ah. Alright, so I'm using one of the cards from the kit, and what I did, I learned this from my friend Shu-Wen of Chew Puff Creations, is I used a piece of sticker paper. These are other stories that I'm going to tell. And I measured this card, so this is the Trick or Treat card, which actually that kind of looks pretty neat, but I got the story. So this is the Trick or Treat card. The back has pumpkins. Because there are pumpkins in my mask, I used the pumpkins from here. So it's just a sticker that you just put down there that you can print on your printer. So I'm going to back this again with some black paper from my stash. I'm going to move this away for now. Alright, so some black paper from my stash. I'm just going to back it, and then I'm just going to fussy cut it out so it's got a little bit of a border so it stands out on the page. Where are my scissors? Alright, so you could cut it out on a paper trimmer, but I am just fussy cutting it because I can pretty much eyeball the measurements, and I don't care if it's 100% perfect. I actually kind of like it when it's not so perfect. Alright, so you can see the black really kind of brings it out a little bit. And I want to put it so the black, so it's kind of in the middle there. Alright, so I have here the chipboard from the last, I'm going to show you this, from last year's kit. This is last year's kit, this is this year's kit, okay? So last year's kit has this chipboard that says, if you've got it, haunt it. Really, really love that. It just really kind of goes perfect here. So I am actually going to use it. I was thinking about writing it out, but I'm actually going to use it. So again, this is last year's kit, chipboard from last year's kit. So I'm debating writing or spelling out beautiful here because of the... So I love this little part of the kit, but I am actually going to use that for something different. So let's see. I don't think I'm going to use any of these stickers. There's like a glue on there. Alright, so now I am looking for a scrap piece of paper on my desk. I'll use this. Alright, so I'm going to use the Beautiful stickies. Like, I gotta clean my desk off because there's like... Alright, so I'm writing out on a piece of paper I might just do the word beautiful because I'm going to put it on the side here. Alright, so there's a lot of Harry Potter references in here. I'm actually going to see The Cursed Child in December, so I'm saving a lot of the Harry Potter stuff for... I kind of like that, but... So I'm saving a lot of the Harry Potter stuff for the Christmas time, actually, when I go to The Cursed Child. So really right now I'm just really playing around and trying to figure out exactly where I want to put things and what I want to do. So another idea of what you can do is you can, on these sticker sheets, if you don't want to commit to the sticker yet, you can cut it out . Okay, so this tag is eventually where my number is going to go when it gets put in my album. I'm just not sure where it's going to be placed in the album yet. Alright, so I usually try to clean up my desk. That's what you hear going on now while I'm working on the project, just so it stays neat. Okay, one last thing I want to do is I want to put a few more of these little dots around here to kind of mimic these dots here. Alright, that I think is it. Oh, I just have to sign it. Alright friends, thanks for watching.